Okay, I think that's recording, and now I need to share my screen. Share screen. Hi, I think you can see yourself right now, so let me just close the things down. Okay, can you see the people per hour screen?
No, I can just see you at the moment.
You can just see me. Okay, give me a second. Can you see now?
No, sorry, it's just you.
Okay, give me a sec. Oh, wait. Now?
Yeah, now it's changed. Yeah.
Okay. Can you see the people per hour screen?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna start the call then. Hi guys, I'm going to do a video for you about how to use the online platform People Per Hour. Actually, let me just turn that off. Sorry, my phone's going. Okay, hi, I'm going to tell you how to use the online platform People Per Hour. I'll just give you a little bit of information. Some of you know me, some of you don't. My name's Hannah. I work as a freelance content writer as my main job, which is mostly involves working from home on the internet. I work for a number of online businesses. I used to use People Per Hour, which is an online freelance work platform to find jobs, and that led to longer term stuff, which was absolutely great. And I managed to make a living from it when I used it. I now get work from my existing contacts, but I'm really grateful for this platform. As I know, I've seen a lot of really sad things on the internet about a lot of you have had trouble either you own businesses or your family's own businesses, and that business is just not happening anymore because everybody's stuck indoors, or you're losing bookings, or some of you are getting your work hours cut, or you're scared you might be laid off, or you might be asked to do unpaid leave. So I wanted to show you how to use People Per Hour to find freelance work. It's a great platform, but unfortunately there is one issue with it, which is that you do get some scammers operating on there who will try and steal work from you, which basically means get you to do work and not pay you. It's actually a secure platform, but what they will try and do is get you to leave the platform. So I'll show you how that works in a minute. Don't be scared that I'm telling you that, because it is a really good platform to use. You just need to know what to look out for. Okay. Before I start, I want to say there are other websites like this out there. I've just had a good experience with People Per Hour, and I'm not, I don't work for People Per Hour. I'm not getting any kind of commission from them or anything for doing this video. I just saw that a lot of people are in a bad situation, and I thought this is something you might be able to do. Okay, so let's see how it all works. Oops, let's move that. First of all, I'll just show you very basically around the site. So, oh yeah, I should tell you I haven't used it since 2015, but I can show you some information. Okay, so I'll just show you my profile first. So on People Per Hour, you can create a profile for what you are able to do. So I have my picture here from 2015 when I had short red hair. I have a description of my qualifications and what I can do. And then here's my skills. I have some reviews from the site. If you look down, I've got the reviews that have been written about me. And I can also do, I also have a portfolio, which is a document I can upload with previous work. You can also, if you do visual stuff, like you're a photo editor or an artist or designer, you can do visual stuff as well. I will show you this as well, is you can also, as a freelancer, this might be really helpful for some of you. I didn't use this, but you can create offers. So that's here, and I'll show you what offers are. Okay, so let's show you how to use this website. Go to the search. You have options to search offers. These are adverts created by freelancers about things they can do for people who want to hire freelancers for jobs. You can search for freelancers. So I don't think any of you guys will be doing this, but if you're a company that needs a freelancer to do a job, or an individual or an agency, you can search for freelancers, and you can contact them directly, and ask them to propose for a project that you have for them. So write a proposal about what they can do if you think somebody fulfills their needs. And there's projects, which is kind of job. This is probably what most of you guys will use, and this is what I used, where basically people post projects or jobs where they need a freelancer to help them do a job, and they will be a price there, and it will all go through the system. So I'm just going to click on projects first to show you projects. Ooh, work. Excuse me. Okay, first of all, let's look at the categories of work. Oops. Okay, so categories, here's the different categories that exist for jobs that they have. I think the one I used, writing, when I started using people per hour, I was already a marketer. I had 4 years of experience working for a travel company in marketing, and large part of my work was writing online content. So when I left, that was a transferable skill that I could use in the freelance world. So I did actually get a question from a friend who said, what's your chance of getting jobs if you might not be experienced? And what I would say is probably you guys all do very different jobs, but maybe think about things where you have transferable skills. I know some of my friends who are performers and entertainers. For social media, they have like huge online platforms. Maybe there's stuff they can do there with social media stuff. Admin, I guess, would be very simple stuff that you do in work. So things like data entry, transcriptions, things like that. Maybe things you guys might all have in experience of your jobs. Similarly, there's things like business support as well, which might be more general. And then I know, again, some of you guys might do design, you might do photo editing, some of you might have a marketing background, web development, audio, video. So, or if you speak a second language, translation. And I know to work as a translator, my friend Momin told me that you have to be certified, but I think for this, a lot of the stuff isn't certified. They just want somebody who can translate and write well. So that might be something. So I will just show you how these sorts of projects work. So let's go to admin because that's quite general. There we go. Oh dear, I'm going to have to move this again. There we are. So let's look at the different jobs that are posted. By the way, there will be stuff that's better and stuff that's worse. So here's £16 an hour as a salesperson. Again, some of them quite vague, even urgent help. I looked at this one earlier, ad hoc transcriptions to £25 an hour. So let's look at this. So this is basically to transcribe audio. So if I wanted to go, I would say, so how this works is if you wanted to go for this job, you can see other people have already sent proposal. You would apply for the job by sending a proposal. And one thing I would say is this, I think, is a fixed price, but sometimes people ask you to bid how much you're willing to work for instead of doing a fixed price. And that might actually be, so please, please, please don't try and undercut other people by bidding really low. Also, unfortunately, there are people who are really cheeky and might just say, ask for a really large amount of work for a really low price. So again, think about your worth, think about what you're worth in your day job, how much you get paid an hour for that, how much your salary is on an hourly rate, and make sure you don't undersell yourself as well. And so maybe don't apply for things that are very low. So to apply for this job, I'd send a proposal. So here's the guy's description. I would write, hey, this is all, like, this would be where I say why I'm the best person for the job, what my relevant experience is, the things that I could do for him. And you can also attach files. So if you've got previous work, so it might be transcriptions you've done in this case, or if, for example, it was a design thing, you might choose something, if you might choose a design you've done before that's relevant, if you were a designer looking for design jobs. And sometimes you'll break down, so you'll be entering an amount that's an hour, or you might be entering the amount that's for the entire project. And then, so you'll enter the information and then send. Also, people per hour does take a cut of what you do, but that's really important to not actually try and leave the system. Do everything for people per hour because your payment is protected. That's how they make their money and they can manage the website. So please, please, please don't put your payments in jeopardy by leaving the system. So once you send a proposal, it will go through to your workflow. So let me just show you what the workflow looks like. Oops, having to move this again. Oh, actually, before I show you the workflow, maybe I should just tell you a bit about the different jobs that are available on this site as well. So you will get things that are very short term, where it's literally like something that will take you 4 hours to do, maybe, and then there's something that might take you 4 days, something that might take you a whole month. So there's basically jobs which are you're being hired to do that one job. That's what freelancing is. But it might be something that is very short term or medium term or long term, or there might be things. So when I did it, I found a company that was a fashion company and they wanted me to come in once a week and write descriptions for the new clothes going on the website. What you might also do is find stuff that's Oh, okay. So you might sort of find different longer or shorter term. What you might also do, which actually happened to me a lot, is I answered a proposal for kind of say 4 articles, and then they actually kept on coming back to me and wanting more and more and more things. So I found things which actually turned into very long-term things for me there. So that was great as well. So you can do it, but it might take a little bit of time, but you might be lucky. Would I recommend applying for jobs that are very short term? Like you might spend a whole day applying for jobs and then get something which is only half a day's work. You know what? At the beginning, it's not a bad idea to do that stuff just to maybe get some work through the site so people can see that you're not completely new. Get some ratings as well, get some people to review you. And then if they like what you do, then you might be able to apply for longer term stuff off the back of that because your rating will go up as a freelancer. You get a rating when people review you and things, and you appear to be more trusted. So I can talk over that for you guys again later if that's a bit complicated. I can show you in the dashboard what that means. Okay, I'm just going to show you now. So say I sent the proposal to this guy, it would then go into a flow or a work stream, sorry. So I'll show you some examples of work streams because this is the bit that's really important. Okay, so here's a work stream I did before. Oops, so let's just move that. Okay, so this was a guy who ran a fashion business consultancy. So he his consultancy advises fashion businesses about how to have an online presence and things like that. And I did some work on his website. So here are the messages that we sent between each other. So you can see contacting each other. He's sending me information. And then as I think somewhere along here, yep, and here's my attachment. So that's where I sent the work. And then, yep, bit of chat. And then I sent him the invoice and then he pays it. So I'll now show you the work stream. So he had an advert. I sent him a proposal and he accepted it. I sent him an invoice and so I sent him a proposal. He accepted it. I did the work, I attached it in my account, and he was pleased with that. And then I sent an invoice and he paid it. And then I have an online wallet where I can take the money out and put it into my bank account, and that's all perfectly secure. Now, this is probably the most important thing I'm going to say to you guys is that they have to accept your proposal. If you send a proposal, that will come with a contract, which is terms of agreement for you and for the client, for the person writing the project, who's commissioning the work. And if you don't accept the proposal, then your payment isn't protected. And it doesn't actually, sorry, if they don't accept your proposal, it doesn't actually mean within the system that they have accepted the work from you. So they have to do that. And also, I'll show you why this is so important. Unfortunately, this is how I was scammed. So this is why I want to show you how to protect yourself. Okay, so let's see. I hate this guy, but This guy needed some content for a Kickstarter that he was doing, so he wanted me to write all the information for his Kickstarter pages. I responded to the advert and I got something back saying, "Hey Hannah, I actually really urgently need this stuff now. What are you doing today? Can you do it all today?" And I said, "Sure, yeah, I'll do it today. That's absolutely fine. Oh my goodness, it's urgent. I better do it right now." So I dropped everything else I was doing that day where I could have earned some money, and instead I worked on this thing for him all day. It says £14, but it was actually £14 per page. So I did 4 pages of work for him. So that would have been 4 times 14. That would have been £56, I think. So I spent a large part of my day doing that. So, yep, he said to me, "Yep, can you send this stuff to me?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So let me just show you. Here's our conversation. Oops. So here's the information about it. Kickstarter, here's my information about it. Yep, here's the first one. Oops. So there's the attachment with a document with work I did. There's another attachment with the document with work I did. There's another attachment. There's some more work I did for him. And there's the final bit of work I did for him. So that's four pieces of work. And then he said, "That's perfect. Please send the invoice. Thanks. Can anyone tell me?" So maybe you might be able to see where I've gone wrong all this time. So I said, "Hi, I hope you've had a nice Easter weekend. Please accept my proposal so I can invoice you." I didn't hear from him. I tried to call him a few times. I said, "Hi, I'm sure you're busy, but can you please accept my proposal so I can invoice you?" And I guess now you guys can understand what I've done wrong is basically he didn't ever accept my proposal. In writing here, he said, "Hi, I want you to do the work for me." He never entered it into the system. So in the system, he never accepted my work. So I just gave him some work for free, and as far as the system is concerned, he never accepted it. After this happened, this was when I was still quite new to the site, but I actually got other people as well contacting me going, "Hi, I've got some urgent work. Can you do this urgent work? Can you do it now?" And I went, "Hello, can you please request a proposal for me and then accept it?" So sorry, that's another way it can work, is either you can respond to a proposal, you can respond to a project with a proposal, or someone can contact you with a project they have, and you can write a proposal and they can accept it. But they have to accept your proposal. If not, they can just take away the work. But as soon as I asked these guys to accept a proposal from me or to write a project so I could send them a proposal and then they could accept it, I never heard anything back from them again. So they were obviously just trying to scam me. So this is really, really bad, unfortunately, but you have to make sure that people accept your proposal, or you are not covered by the system and you are not protected. I would also recommend, before you use the website, you read all their terms and conditions, all their information about online safety as well. I think it's so important. I haven't been through everything myself. I'm only speaking from experience. Before we carry on, I just want to tell you about another way people can scam you on online platforms, which is that you can actually do work for them. It's all through the system. It's all fine. And or it could be even work where you haven't done it through the system, but they can go, "Hey, here's my email address or here's my phone number. Send me your bank account details." And so it's not going through the system, and you'll get to keep all the money. Or send me your PayPal profile, and it's cheaper than using this system, and I'll send you the money when it's finished. Well, you go, "Great, I'll save a bit of money here." You send them the work, and then you never hear from them again. Or worse, my husband actually did this, where he did several jobs for somebody and they paid him through the system. And then they asked him to do a big job, which was about a month's worth of work. And they said, "Hey, look, we'll just pay you directly, like, so you're not giving any commission to the website." And he basically, after sending the work, he never heard back from them. The guy deleted his email address, blocked his phone number. We did contact the police, but we weren't able to contact him. So I would recommend, unless you actually like start working on like for a business with a proper business address, and you have a paper trail saying that you are owed. No, you know what, I'd maybe even just say just keep everything through the system, especially if you're looking to do this short term, because it's a really common way of scamming people. And it's also very easy to do things like forge an email from PayPal saying you've been paid when you haven't as well, and things like that. So that's just a very common way of scamming people. So also on things like Airbnb or Etsy or eBay, pretending that you want to pay somebody outside of the system and then scamming them. So it really is best to do everything through the system. So please, please, please feel free to ask me questions about that. Okay, so I hope I haven't scared you about that, because actually being a freelancer can be great. That was just that only happened to me once. I've only been scammed once, and then I noticed other people trying to scam me afterwards, and I knew what to do. So please don't let that scare you. I might just tell you a little bit more about being a freelancer as well. Being a freelancer, it's really important not to undersell yourself. So if you think a job is, work out what your hourly rate might be if you're in a job. And remember, freelancing, you're not getting benefits, you're not getting a pension. So don't be shy to ask what you think your work is worth. If an employer was paying you a salary, how much would your hourly rate be? And then charge that. I'd also say sometimes people might ask you to quote based on how long the job might take, and they might not actually describe what the job actually is very well. So I don't think this guy was doing anything vindictive, but a friend of mine knew what I did for a living. Oh, sorry, a friend of a friend. And he asked me to do some work where he said all I would have to do is rewrite the existing work and just basically put it into English. Wasn't his first language. And he said, could you just make it like look more natural in English, like a native English speaker has written it? And I said, that's absolutely fine. Yep, that won't take me very long. 4 pages, absolutely fine. I got it, and it was work, this really, really complicated finance stuff that I had never, ever heard of any of this. And I had to go back to him and say, I don't actually understand what this is. I need extra time. I've quoted you for 4 hours work, but being realistic, this is going to take me probably 2 days just to research what this actually is and educate myself. I think maybe a day, but I had to charge him twice as much. And I said, I did say, I'm not trying to just make more money out of you, but I deserve, I need to be paid for this, and I can't do this with the knowledge I have. So he was actually he was very understanding about it, but it's just people might be a bit naive about what you're, that you need to do research, which they haven't told you about beforehand. So it is really important to do that. Sometimes people might rush you to try and pay you less money. So they might say, oh, yeah, just spend an hour on it, blah, blah, blah. And it's 4 or 5 hours work. So, and they're like, oh, you can get that done in an hour. So what they're trying to do is just pay you for an hour and make you feel guilty that then it took you 5 hours to do it properly, and then thinking you won't charge. So then you have to say, no, I've looked at this and this is going to take me 5 hours. And really, you don't have to take the work on as well. But the great thing about freelancing is at the moment, if you are in a bad situation with work hours and things, I really do, first of all, I really do feel for you. But you can do this as often as you want, as long as you can find the work, you can do this as little or often as you want to. You might have just had your hours cut and feel like I could do a couple of these a week to just help me pay some bills or something, or you might feel, or you might sadly be have not getting any business or any work at all, and you might need to do this full time, and we don't know how long this coronavirus stuff is going to last. So I think I think it's a good idea that you can kind of be flexible about it and take on more or less that you might want to do. One reason why I do the freelance stuff is because I also do events and things as well. So I might take on more or less work doing my freelance stuff, depending how much work I have on doing events. So it's great to have that flexibility. I also think it's great as well that you do have a talent that you can sell to people. People, they need a developer or they need a photo editor, and that's great that you can sell your talent. Okay, I realized I didn't actually show you these offers, so you can create these as a freelancer on this platform, and these are really good. I didn't do them because I didn't really feel I needed to, but it's a great, excuse me, thing to do. So what an offer is, it's basically you're selling a service to people who might be interested. So yep, so here's one saying I'll design anything you want. I think that's India. So again, sometimes there will be people in places like India who might have lower prices. So I think the important thing is to basically be what your market be your local market rate. If you speak English as a first language, that's quite an advantage because you get lots of things saying they want a native English speaker. Yep, so here's one. Let's have a look at this one, for example. Design a logo for your brand. So please, if you do an offer, look at what the value is. So a lot of these logo ones, they're about £20. So please match your money with match your price with local people as well. So yep, this guy's basically saying this is what they offer. So he's got some examples of his previous work there. And then here's some add-ons of what he can also offer as well. So basically, if I was on here and I wanted a logo, I can buy a logo from this guy and then he'll do one from me. Is a guy? Yes, it is. What I said, by the way, about this is also an international platform, which is great because there's jobs being posted all over the world. Some of the freelancers will, in countries where the cost of living is lower and their wages are lower, might be willing to work for less. But I would say try and see yourself as competing with people in your country rather than countries that are more expensive and less expensive than sorts of wages that are compatible with your country, really, because a lot of the time you'll be selling to a similar market as well, if that makes sense. Okay, I think what I wanted to say finally is, unfortunately, I have to say this as a disclaimer, I'm not responsible for any bad experiences you might have on this site. I'm just trying to advise you. I'm just trying to help you. Other sites are available. I can't guarantee. It also isn't a thing to say I can guarantee you'll get work for there. Like, you guys have to make it happen. But I know you're all really intelligent people as well. I know you're very skilled, very talented. You've all got lots of skills that you can use. So here's just one way that maybe you could make some money to see what's going on. Okay, by the way, while I am doing this as a video and not as a live stream, so unfortunately I couldn't do it with the technology, but this is going to get shared in a Facebook group, so you are absolutely welcome to ask me questions in the Facebook group, and then I thought we might do a video call. And if I share it elsewhere on the internet, then please feel free to ask me questions in the comments, and I might not be able to get back to you straight away, but I would like to get back to you as soon as possible. Again, I'm really, really sad about what's happening with the coronavirus. I really hope, touch wood, my work won't dry up because I haven't heard anything about that yet. But it is quite a scary time. I really do hope that this will do hope that this will be helpful. And if you guys have any other way that you can suggest, excuse me, if there's any other way that you guys can suggest ways to make money, or anywhere where people can do some casual work to help themselves, then that's really helpful as well. And please feel free as well to, I'm not seeing this as a competitive thing. Please feel free to share this with your family and friends or anyone else who you feel might need it. And yeah, maybe even you'll carry on doing this after coronavirus if you think it's helpful to you. Okay, thank you so much for listening, guys. And please stay safe, look after yourselves and each other, have each other's backs, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.